Hey YouTube dudes and gals, what is crack-a-lackin'? It's me, your girl Lizzie, back with my April wrap-up. Yeah, that's it. April was National Poetry Month, so I kind of focused on like poems or like authors who write poems. Like I read a lot of Shakespeare. Yeah, so let's get to it. What I read. So I finished Captain Marvel comics that I own, all of them. So there was Miss Marvel by Brian Reed, volumes 5 through 9. There was Captain Marvel by Kelly Sue DeConnick. There was 2 volumes. And then Captain Marvel by Michelle. I still didn't look up how to say these names. My bad. That one was 2 volumes as well. There was The Mighty Captain Marvel by Margaret Stoll. That was 3 volumes. There's another one. And then there was The Life of Captain Marvel by Margaret Stoll. So Captain Marvel, as I said before, is probably my favorite superhero. The comics were really good. They were a variety. I kind of like that they tied into the other comics as well, even though they were different authors. But yeah, Captain Marvel, for as long as I've known about her, she's been my favorite, probably because she is the closest to like invincible female. Like she's kind of like, I don't want to compare them, but kind of like Wonder Woman, you know? But like not. But not. She's not. Not really. Please ignore everything I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, me being a girl, my favorite superhero because of the movies was Black Widow, but like getting into the comics, I really liked Mockingbird. I liked Captain Marvel. You know, they had Mockingbird in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I didn't really like that show, so I didn't watch it, even though I love Adrienne Palicki. But yeah, so hearing that Captain Marvel was getting her own movie, I was super stoked, and that's why I've seen it 3 times in theaters and 1 time illegally. I'll cut that out. And then I saw Endgame on the day it came out, and I cried the whole movie. Did you guys cry the whole movie? I have a crying issue. Even the funny stuff, I was crying the whole time. So yeah, I read all of those, okay? I read Ruby Byrne. It's a Yang anthology. So Ruby is a animated show created by Rooster Teeth. It's kind of like anime, but you know, anime is Japanese, so. But it's about focuses on these 4 girls who are part of a team. Ruby, R is Ruby Rose, W is Vaishni, B is Blake Belladonna, and Y is Yang Xiaolong. Yang's my favorite character, and so I kind of felt like her anthology didn't really do her character justice. It kind of focused more on her other characters, but I mean, Yang kind of sidesteps her issues for the other characters anyways, so I can see it, but I just wish it had been more Yang focused than like Ruby, who's her younger sister. And then because it was National Poetry Month, I read a bunch of Shakespeare. So I read Romeo and Juliet. And I mean, anyone who's read Romeo and Juliet can just, you know. Then I read Othello. I really like Othello. I don't know why. It's just one that I read in my Shakespeare class and I really loved it so much. It's probably because the movie we watched had Kenneth Branagh. Yeah, names. Can't pronounce them. But he did a really good job playing Iago. Then I read The Scottish Play. As a theater student, I'm not allowed to say the name. Being in theater, whenever we did a play and someone was like, don't say that, that's all you heard. And then, you know, everything went wrong. So, not to the multitudes that some other have gone wrong, but stuff went wrong. A Midsummer's Night Dream. I didn't really like this one. I didn't really like this one when I read it in my Shakespeare class either. It's just, it's a bunch of blah, blah, blah. And then Hamlet by Shakespeare as well. I'm trying to decide if I liked The Lion King better or Hamlet. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I don't like The Lion King, so yep. Alright, and then after that I read so yeah, Shakespeare, as you can tell. I read some of his sonnets as well. I just kind of flipped random pages and read them. This book is heavy as heck. I got post-it notes in here. Oh, it has water damage. No, nothing important. Nothing important. Taming the Shrew, I really like that play. I didn't read it because they didn't have a good audiobook version for me to listen to, and I find it easier to listen to them while I'm reading them. But yeah, but then after that, I finally, took a moment to read Good Things Are Still True by Danielle Warren. This I talked about in my last wrap-up. It's by a friend of mine who was in my poetry group when I went to MCC, Muskegon Community College. And I'm planning on doing a review for that one. But if you do want to buy it, it's a cute little... You can see the pages this time, hopefully. I plan on putting the link down below, so check that out. It's only like $10, which is really cool. And then, speaking of Muskegon Community College, I read about half of the River Voices Spring 2017 edition. They brought it back after a while. I have a poem in it. If you want to hear it, please say no. Okay, that's great. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I love doing stuff like that. When I was in like middle school, I got published in one of those big like $50 ones, and you would think they'd send you one for free because out of all the people that submitted, you got put in. So I don't have that one. But then I also read a coloring book. My goal was to color a picture a day for the poems, but I didn't even get past this one, and this one's not even a poem, but I did read them. It's got some very nice poems in it. It's got one of my favorites, if I can find it. My favorite poem is The Lady of Shalott from the King Arthur mythology. Yeah, it's really cool. I read a retelling of it. I own it. It's not here. It's called Song of Sparrow or something like that. But yeah, okay. Alright, then I read You're Never Weird on the Internet, Almost, by Felicia Day. I love Felicia Day. I was first introduced to her in Supernatural as Charlie. It was cool. They killed her. They took her away from me like they kill every other female. When I watched Buffy for the first time, I saw her, and I'm one of those people who I see a face and I go, I know that face, I know that face, where do I know that face from? And so seeing her, that was really cool. My stepsister really loved Dr. Horrible's, whatever that's called, so she made us watch that. She has a nice voice. I didn't really like her book. I feel like it didn't really have a purpose, and I feel bad saying that because I love Felicia Day. I do. She is amazing. But yeah. Because I started reading that book last year and I stopped and I didn't finish it. So that one for me this year, I just kind of picked it back up and I'm like, you have the audiobook, you can listen to this, it's fine. Woo. And then I listened to The Man on the Mountaintop by Susan Trott, so an Audible original. Within like the first couple of chapters I could tell I wasn't going to like it, but I continued reading it anyways because I'm trying to not DNF on books. I used to have that problem a lot when I was younger. I can still tell you that I'm on page 114 of Aragon since the 4th grade, and I don't think I'll ever finish reading those. Sorry to everyone who wanted me to read those. It's not going to happen. And then the last book that I read / listened to was The Last Days of August by John Ronson. Sorry, my writing's tiny and there's a lot of words. This one was better than The Man on the Mountaintop. It was still not my favorite. But yeah, that was April, so that was a lot of books. I'll put in the post how many that was overall because I was stupid and didn't think to figure that out. I purchased a lot too. Probably shouldn't have. I have a book buying problem, especially when, yeah, they're all Kindle books. So, yep. Okay. So I got the Romeo and Juliet audiobook. I got the Othello audiobook. I got Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. I bought that as an audiobook and the Kindle book. The Darkwater Bride by Marty Ross. The Dispatcher by John Scalzi. Tales of Suspense, Hawkeye and Winter Soldier. Black Widow, Deadly Origin. Black Widow 2016 to 2017. That's a 2-volume. Hawkeye and Mockingbird Ghosts. Hawkeye and Mockingbird / Black Widow Widowmaker. Whew. Sorry guys, video cut out. So where was I? That's right. So, purchased, I've got Black Widow Homecoming, Black Widow 3-volume series, Nixia and Nixia Unleashed, The Hangman's Daughter, Go, The Murmur of Bees, An American Princess, All This I Will Give to You, The Dark Heart, About the Night, The Passion According to Carmela, This Life or the Next, and Red Queen. And that's it for what I bought this April. There was 27 books I bought total, and then while I was looking, it was roughly 27 books that I read, so that's super cool. Weird. I mean, I'd say maybe like 27 and a half, depending on what you count as reading. But yeah, so that's it for this month. Thanks for watching.